And it's not conscious cooking, or at least I don't think it is. Right, so, a warm round of applause, please, for Poppy Brytewood.
Well, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Look at all these stalwarts here. It's like, who rocked up on Thursday? Yay! And who's still full of beans, full of grounding, full of magic from everything that's happened? Wowza. And everybody who's been hands-on, helping, doing, wow. You know, toilets, okay. Toilets, showers, bins, organising absolutely everything. The gratitudes that we need to share are just massive, because just watching in the quantum field all the connections that have happened this weekend, all the deep connections, things are really ramping up. Now, it's like, how can I answer when it's like I'm asked what I'm doing? And I know Caroline, who's there, who knows me, you can't put it in a box. It doesn't happen. The plan was, because we're dealing with quite a few deep topics which occur in the fourth dimension. We'll look at the dimensions in a minute, but also it's like you never know what's going to be necessary until you actually come along, feel and see. So, gratitude for everyone who's put this together, everyone who's looked these great big gazebo-y, big tent things. Marquee's the word I'm looking for. The shape wasn't coming to me. I see words in shapes, which is why I speak quickly. Someone said to me the other day, slow down, and it's like it doesn't work. The shapes don't fit the words. I have to go quickly. Thank you to everyone who's spoken, everyone who's shared, everyone who has different perspectives of what's going on, because we're all at different points of inquiry as we go through what we would lovingly term the third dimension. And it's like, things change. It was listening to Andy on Friday, because I was just tuning myself in as well. It was when Andy was speaking and he was saying, if you look at Andy at the WTF, and it was when he was saying about, that ignited his passion. We have our physical and we have our mental, but we also have our spiritual, and it's the emotion that drives the spiritual. It's the emotion that causes that action, but it's learning how to channel that emotion in a positive, strong way for the betterment of all. And he did that. He said, I was sitting where you are, and all it takes is a choice and a voice. And that's where movements start. And there are so many people here with real, true specifics. They half know the task. They may do it without knowing it. There's a very testosterone male, and that's very whatever. We were just choosing where to park up when we came on Thursday. Lovely, absolutely perfect for the task that is being implemented by that gentleman. Absolutely perfect. And it was like, my lovely friend Rena was just at the end, and it's like, no, you need to be down there. And it's like, I'm going, my ego self's going, but I want to be here. And it's like, no, you need to be down there. It wasn't it was just you need to be down there because. Now, I would say, although this person is doing fully what they're needing to do in this lifetime, without doing it consciously, they are doing exactly the earth stuff that they need to do. And it was fantastic. And the point we ended up on, we'll come to in a minute, because it was put on a very specific energy point, and it was absolutely fantastic for that. However, what I was going to do was I was going to talk about how we can help our physical bodies when they're shifting from their carbon base to their light base. We came from light. God is light, God is light, God is water, God is everything, God is love. But we need to be able to take care of our bodies. We have to take care of our bodies, because they're the house we live in. They're the casing that we live in. People do their hair, their fingers, their nails, their skin. It's great. The outside's fab. They forget to take care. They forget to take care of their insides. And the insides are most important, because everything comes from the inside. You wouldn't not clean your house inside and have it looking spick and span on the outside, would you? So there's reasons for that. But if we just stay with that first point, that point is the power is within, and it takes one choice and one voice to move that forwards. So the power of connections that's happened this week has been phenomenal, okay? Everyone is on a different path. Everyone has a different perspective. Those perspectives are the gifts that they've chosen to look at and see and converge at this nexus point in this time-space continuum of now and share. And everyone will resonate where anyone else needs to resonate. There are very specific people doing very specific tasks, which when they co-create and connect together with like minds and open hearts, it's not, absolutely, it's not like nobody's sitting there going, well, I can't do that because I haven't got anything to offer. It's like, error. Every single person has something to offer, and that's why everybody's connected. There is no chance. Has anyone here gone off piece again? That's why I've got pieces on the floor. But you know the Celestine prophecy? Who's read the Celestine prophecy? Right. Yeah, well, it's time to reread it again. Beltane, my guys were coming through. It's like you need the rereading of the Celestine prophecy. And honestly, the stuff that has happened when you read and re-imprint that energy, your six-dimensional energy of words coming into you, that is when the true magic happens. So, who's noticed the matrix glitches and the time glitches where things have gone faster and slower, and actually things are morphing? And we're going to talk about morphing in a minute. I'm just going to look at my timing, that's okay. Right, the matrix glitches are becoming more and more obvious. People are realising that it's like, ooh, and they're shaking their heads. And a lot of them are thinking, oh, I'm losing the plot. It's like, whatever. If they're not used to that, it's like, it's freaky. But you'll find if you've been speaking about it for 6 decades and 3 years, people who thought you were wacky, they come back and go, you know when you mentioned, and it's like, so never be frightened to speak what you're saying. Always stand in alignment, always speak your truth from your perspective. Yet, that is your perspective, and other people's perspective is different, so allow them that in their soul growth, in their life experience. So let's just have a quick look at from my perspective, the first 9 dimensions. Okay? There only is the time-space continuum. There is only the 3rd dimension which has linear time. Everything else does not have linear time. We'll go into aging as a disease in a minute, because it's like, it's not a disease, it's a program in the mind. We do not need to get old. Thousands of years ago, we did not need to get old. When we were connected more to the earth and to nature, everything flowed. When people in the Essenic times chose to lie down and withdraw their light through the toroidal field of the heart, they chose when to leave. There's many people are bilocating at the moment. And what I don't mean dying and transforming. I mean are able to lie down and physically bilocate like the old siddhas did. There's people who can. Star Trek was a great one, wasn't it? Can you remember in 1960s, Gene Roddenberry? That was a brilliant one. Okay, by the way, it's probably 40 years since I watched telly, listened to the radio, read a paper. I get what I need. It comes to me in whatever form. I don't need that clutter. It's too much. But the Star Trek thing's a really interesting thing. We've got technology well ahead of that. However, first 9 dimensions, let's stay with where we're supposed to be. So, from my perspective, there's loads more dimensions, but the first dimension is the iron earth core, where the blueprint of everything that has ever lived on Earth, ever will live on Earth, and ever has lived on Earth, even though that's the nexus point of now, is stored. The telluric realm is the realm of the elements, the Fae, those which live in the earth, those lovely, lovely light beings, and the mycelia as well. The 3rd dimension is what I call Tesco land, but I am lovingly told off by my dearly beloved that it should be called the here and now, because Tesco land is demeaning to everyone who doesn't quite get it. And it's like, that was a valid point, but I've always said Tesco land. 4th dimension is this collective hive mind where the morphic resonance comes from, where the pot of creation is. And that's why, as David was saying, the distractions, we're distracted from being within, we're distracted from that stillness. We're distracted from that. 5th dimension, the toroidal field of the heart. We look at the chakras, the heart's in the middle of the chakras. Okay? That is from whence you know when someone's toroidal field's busy. Some people can even put you in a bubble when you're in their toroidal field. It's really, really powerful. And the heart is from creation. 6th dimension is sacred geometry, it's word. It's numbers. We work with numbers quite a lot. It's word, it's numbers, it's shapes. It's like when you cut a leaf and you see the shapes, or when you saw a tree and you see those shapes. The sacred geometry is amazing. Sound. Many people are becoming sound healers and realising the importance of music. My partner and I also sing for fun, and we always tune to 432 hertz. We never use the 440 hertz. 417 is really interesting. Well, we've got so many sound healers. The sound healing, or the sound, is really, as you know, in cathedrals and things with the cymatics, It's what actually creates the form in the 6th dimension, which is where those shapes come from, which then drop down into the 5th dimension, which is the area of creation. 8th dimension is light. We are made from light. We come from light. We are light. 8th dimension light is when you see the crysted bodies. They've always got that. I'm not talking about a halo. I'm talking about where they're depicted. They've got that crysted knowledge around their head. That crysted knowledge is the deeper knowledge. 9th dimension, whether we see Earth as a flat Earth or whatever, in my perspective, is our little section of the universe, this bit of the Milky Way. It's the densest part to be in. And if anyone aware of Dolores Cannon's QHHT? Okay, anyone work with it? Yay, great, okay. Well, the QHHT, Dolores always said, no one will see or hear you. There will be a time when no one will see or hear you, but you must speak your truth. And that is so, when you go into the quantum field and you can overview, and that's what many people did before the gift of reflection time. I refuse to call it anything else because that's truly what it was. When we were blessed with what we were blessed with in 2020, that was a gift of reflection time. It made everybody stop. Instead of going, well, I can't do this and I can't do that, it's like, no, this is the stillness. And it's when you can hear that still, small voice within. And many people use that, and many people benefited from other people using it. So it was a true gift. And we are moving from that time. So whilst we've got all the things that are happening, the change comes from the grassroots. So I was blessed. My great-grandpa was of Galactic origin. And I was blessed to know him. And when he was 9, he put his forehead on my forehead, and it was like going down the Doctor Who tunnel. It was just like, whew. He had his own plumbing business, but he was, so he worked with water. He was a homeopath and weightlifter well before his time. I've got lovely pictures of that. He also used to sit and comb my hair when he was teaching me things with a violet ray machine. So I was really lucky to have that benefit. And I have got, not that violet ray machine, because my parents took it off me, which was interesting. However, I have got my hands on another one now. But one by one, as we've seen, people are stepping away. And this is where my work comes in. People are stepping away, one by one, as they see the matrix glitch. They go back and they go, this isn't quite what I thought it was. And then they go into, we could do the typical cycle, but they go into fear. They go into feeling powerless, and it's like, well, what can I do? And great-grandpa always taught me change comes from the grassroots up. It comes, like we were saying before, one voice, one choice at a time. As long as we're in alignment and we're speaking our truth, but when people see the extent of what is perceived to be going on, they often forget to look at the positive side of things that brings with it. Look at the communities that are formed here. Look at Nick's inspiration. Look at all the beautiful people that have come together. Every time groups of people meet and communicate, someone you communicate with is always bringing you a message. There's always a message there. If we learn to use these in a ratio, 2 of these, 1 of these, most people do it the other way around. And it's so important to listen. It's like, even if you've got a person that isn't necessarily resonating with you, it's like, I try and stand and go, it's really inside. I'm going, okay, so what's this bringing me? What's this bringing me? And then it's like you learn to react from observation rather than emotion. And that's really key at the moment because there's a lot of triggers being implemented. 6th dimensional, my father was an austere Victorian style solicitor. Okay, so what this did was it fast-tracked me through. It fast-tracked me through seeing the legal system. I used to work for him in the summer holidays, and I used to ask why on earth are we using these words? Why does this not work? Why can't people understand what this is? Okay, next phase, I wanted to do chiropody and podiatry. Don't know why. I know what happens when I touch people, so that was clearly there. I was, because of the connections and because I wasn't a strong person at that time, I was plonked in a bank. Because the banking had a good pension and it had a good mortgage and it had all those things that do the tick boxes. And I used that experience, but that was the time when I saw the corruption in the banking, and it was when it was changing from how well you knew your clients to having the deeds for their houses in their safe, to knowing that their pay came in and they were okay, and you needed to maybe coach this person to maybe underspend a little bit. And it was like it was that time. It was when Chris Tarrant was used by NatWest Bank to actually promote things. But we used to have stickers to put on high-value customers. I said, what defines a high-value customer? Isn't it their soul that defines a high-value customer? Anyway, that was that. Then I got headhunted by a pharmaceutical consultancy company. I was their financial controller and I did all their overseas contracts and dealt with all their stuff. That gave me an amazing vantage point to the pharmaceuticals as well. And then I thought, right, it's time to get back on track. 38, when I was 38, it's like, right, it's time to retrain, get back on track, and do what I did. So I did. I opened a health practice. I do. I work with chiropody, I work with body balancing, I work with mechanics, I work with the holistics, I work with the quantum field, we work with the not nutrition and you need to eat this kale leaf. It's like we're cleansing the inside so that the light can get through. Universe gifted me a little task in 2021. It's like I haven't been near a doctor for ages. Not that I'm anti-doctors, but it's like they're not necessary in my field of being, okay? 2021, my eye was sore, and it's like this eye. Some of you have met this eye. Okay, this eye was sore. I can't resist this. You did get up. Sirius has got up this morning. That's all right. That's cool. Right. No, that's brilliant. This, I was gifted a sore eye. I wasn't going into a hospital to get it checked out or to a doctor's. I ended up. Sorry, that energy's just thrown me. Right, stop it and sit quietly. Okay, that's it. Stop it. Right. So my friend who's a vet looked at it. You know, she's a vet. I'm not a creature. Said, right, you need to go and get that sorted out. So I went to the doctors, and they said, you need to go to the hospital. We'll give you some steroid cream. You need to go to the hospital. It's like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not playing that game. I'm not putting a muzzle on. I'm not sticking a thing up my nose like they did to the slaves in Egypt. It's like nothing's going near the inside of my snoz. Went. Nutshell version. You've got choroidal melanoma. It's a secondary. You've got 3 to 5 years to live, and it's like, excuse me, who's telling me how long I've got to live? And it's like, I'm fit and healthy. I might not be as fit and muscly as I could be, but I'm fit and healthy. And it was like, okay, so what's this gift? Proffered a solution, 3 unpalatable solutions. And I said, how about I use your diagnostics and we go away and I work on it. For 3 months, I worked on it. The universe gifted me. This is a real interesting thing. If you like working with your body and eating things that really realign you, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer by Clint G. Rogers is a book that actually is a little bit of a workbook as well. It's not workbook, playbook, should we say, but it gives you a chance to reflect. It's the teachings of Dr. Pankaj Naram. And Clint was a skeptic, which is why he spent 10 years working with Pankaj Naram. Okay, Pankaj Naram set up Arashakti, and both Karen and I, Karen's been with me this weekend, we worked together, and he set up the Arashakti, which is a branch of Ayurveda, which is Siddhaveda. So Siddhaveda is Ayurveda with next level whistles and bells on. So I ate mung beans. I took out wheat, dairy, sugar, caffeine, basically everything that I was eating. I did have alcohol, but I don't drink because I can only have about a thimble before it just, I do it so it looks nice, but it doesn't like me. It really doesn't like me. It interferes too much. Took that out. 3 months, I went back to this lovely guy at Sheffield Oncology. He was a really good guy, actually. Sheffield Oncology. And it was like, I saw it on the screen. He says, how have you done that? I said, I was set a task. I talked to my body and we sorted it. So that brought me into using the way we do. We teach this every month. We share this every month. There are deeper cleanses I'm blessed to work with. But just let me go back to Dr. Pankaj Naram. Pankaj Naram and his wife were taught in the lineage of Jivaka, who was direct physician to Buddha. This is a level of Vedic tradition which is phenomenal. It does have the pulse reading in it, and I'm blessed to work with Dr. Mira from London, who comes and does pulse readings in the clinic. She works, you can have online appointments with her as well. But the pulse and the blood holds many secrets, which is why the poppy thing's really important. poppies are reflected and represent the blood. But the Siddha Veda became the way of healing, and literally it's when you clean your guts. So what we do, Karen and I, we work sharing it with people for 7 days. People can manage 7 days. We get them to take out those bits of diet just before. If they've got any medical challenges, then they need to work with their medical practitioner. However, we get them to clean their diet 2 to 3 weeks before, and then just use the mung beans. It's like mung bean soup. I was going to share that recipe with you. However, I know I'm very aware of time. There's other things I would like to say because of things that happened yesterday. So if you would like, there's the full talk on the things that you can do from the kitchen to really cleanse your gut, which you should do at the change of the season each time, because that stops the mucus build up and it brings your Vata Pitta dosha aspect. Your earth elements, everybody's got different earth elements in them. We're not made of anything different to the ground and everything, you know, the ether, the air, the water, the earth, the fire, all those bits. We're not anything different to that, and we need to balance those. One of the good things you can do to start with is cumin, coriander and fennel teas. So half a teaspoon of coriander seeds, half a teaspoon of fennel seeds and half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Pummel them up a little bit, put them in 200 mils of water and boil them for 5 minutes to get that goodness out of them. This balances all those doshas, and it really helps first thing in the morning on an empty tummy. And if you use that consistently, and another thing I do with clients, I have a natural health practice, by the way, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but also in the Vermont folk medicine, apple cider vinegar, black molasses and honey. The synergy of those 3 ingredients, 2 teaspoons of each, just does amazing things for the joints. Absolutely amazing things for the joints. So physically, we need to clean up the inside of our bodies, because the photonic rays that are going to come down with the light, they're not bad rays, these are knowledge rays. We are changing from the carbon base to the light base, and it's the light that holds the knowledge. If we've got muck inside, we might have the nicest eyelashes and the flashiest whatever, but it's no good if you've got muck inside. If you'd like the full talk that's properly got details on that, just Karen's at the back there. When you're going out, just let have your email and we'll send you that. It's unlisted on YouTube because I don't really put my bits and pieces up there. Okay, the soul is the light. It's where we came from. 8th dimensional light is a biological communicator. It's when the light in the cell, when the light in the cells dies, the soul transitions on into the next journey. Okay, that's where it is going. That programming of aging is a disease. It is possible to reverse age. It is possible to reverse age. The body has its own regeneration, apart from the 6 inches between ear and ear, which is the worst 6 inches that's a real pain. It's the belief system section. We need to just rewire our beliefs, absolutely rewire our beliefs. So stem cells are what we need to regenerate. Okay, we can reactivate dormant stem cells there are varying options, by fasting. People know they can bring that up by fasting. They can do it by drinking midstream morning urine. Yeah. There is more power in the urine. People go, how can you do that? And it's like, urine is, when you're in the amniotic sac, what are you in? What's happening? Okay? That is so powerful. The nutrients in that's a whole other topic. But that, and you can mature it and you can really use it. And there's we won't go there at the moment, but urine is so powerful. You can go and buy potions, fine. But your body is giving you what it needs. It's learning how to use it. We're not educated how to use these things. Nobody teaches us. You can remove, I don't know whether, well, the things that you get in your eyes that look like little black things that float about like little fishes, if you put drops of that in for 3 weeks, you can clear them. Sometimes it may take longer, it depends how long they've been there. But again, there is more power in that than there is. Isn't pharmacy from the body and the kitchen better than pharmacy from the pharmacy? Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. It's not saying that if you've got a pint of beer on a wobbly table, you need to prop the table up just to stop the beer wobbling for a bit. Then, long term, you need to fix the table. It's not either or, but it's like, okay, I need this just to stabilise, and let's go sort the root cause out. Okay, working with light. I'm going to go on copper. So you've heard about food. and the electroculture and the copper. We know there's loads of people wearing the copper bracelets drinking out of copper water bottles. Copper is really, yeah, good girl. Copper is really, really important, and it holds much magic in it. Okay, Karen does working with copper as well, but that's a whole other thing. Copper inside the body is really key too. So the GCHKCU, the copper peptide, the tripeptide, which is in the body, is really key. When we're talking about the repair, renew, and regenerate systems, we need to elevate our light, which we can do by breath work, we can do by grounding. These little patches, which are sticky on one side, smooth on the other, are wearable light technology. They have no herb, no nutrient, no nothing in it that goes in through the skin. When you put them on the skin, it's a crystal lattice structure that reflects the body's own light back, so it is reflecting exactly the correct frequency that the body needs to reactivate the dormant stem cells. When people are 35, approximately 50% of stem cells have stopped working. You can drink your urine too, and you can fast, okay? That's fine. When you're 60 odd like me, you've only got 10% left, or you've got 90% not working. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's the same thing. There's a video as well of before I treated myself on my big birthday. I thought, right, before I introduce these in my practice, I'm going to play with them. We don't need external. We have things that we can do within. However, working in the quantum field as well, the light codes that were put into those were decoded from the book of Genesis. And the gentleman who did that, Mickey Willis, has anyone come across Mickey Willis who did the film Plandemic? Yes, okay. Mickey Willis is bringing out, it's been at the April Film Festival, it'll be coming out, I think it's about August time. It's a film called Code of Creation. And it is interviewing, it's got Vader Austin in it as well. Everybody loves Vader Austin, next level of that water thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Love chatting with Vader, it's brilliant. The Code of Creation will show how these patches came about, and also not how the codes were decoded, but how important the book of Genesis is. And I'm not doing that from a religious perspective, I'm doing that from how the information in it was put there. Okay, that's one to look out for. Anyway, let's have a look at time. I know I said to Sue that I just need to do this. QHHT is really important. The galactic connections. There was a call put out. Earth was ascending, the people on Earth were ascending quite slowly, stepping into their inner power. A call was put out to other planets. We are connected with other planets, and this will become really apparent this year. It's going to become even more apparent. We know we're there, absolutely there. We've made some amazing connections yesterday. I need to really keep this tight though. A call was put out. The 1940s, 50s, the first wave of volunteers came in, and they were the people who felt that they really didn't belong here. They really weren't at home. The second wave came, the 60s and 70s, and that was where they were the empaths, the people who were there to hold the light, to actually start speaking the stuff that people went, what? Are you out your mind? Okay. And the new wave that have come in, these beautiful, fresh children that do not fit in the box, they have no bounds, okay? They have no bounds. There are varying levels of volunteers. I'm a volunteer, and there are many, many volunteers out there among you, okay? I have a background. I put out that I needed some Syrian connections. Right, what I would like to do is Mel. I need Mel. The crop, we've got 2 minutes, Gal, okay? This that I wear around my neck, we did some work in Stonehenge in 2019, 18th of August 2019. This is the Divine Feminine crop circle. The crop circles are really important. By all this happening now and the other things that are happening, the crop circles have been activated. On the 14th of July, the crop circles, which showed us the patches are with galactic connections. It's galactic light. I put out a call for some more Syrians. It's like I need some more Syrians around me. Yesterday, this lady rocked up who'd just been to the crop circles. Okay, so she brought the crop circle here. She brought it onto the energy of the portal that the guy who didn't know what he was doing made me sit on in the camper van. We had some, I'm going to swear, weird shit happen yesterday. Really quick, because Sue was waving 2 fingers at me.
Oh, which bit? All right, so I looked quickly, I looked at Poppy's eyes and saw loads of psychedelics, and then my 2 eyes came into one like a tunnel, and I felt it really quickly, and I was tunneling into Poppy's eyes, and my face morphed. What you don't know is last night I sat with my auntie and I did it again, and my face morphed again, and my auntie saw my great-grandmother's face. My face morphed into my great-grandmother.
Okay, what we're doing with this eye that was gifted to me, it's an eye activation. Dolores came through and said to me, how are we going to get so many people who work with eyes to look into your eye if we didn't tell you got choroidal melanoma? Eric, didn't know any of these two till yesterday. You rocked up, you've been to a car boot sale, you came up with 2 raw amethyst generators. What happened to you? Quickly, because she's going to shout. Turn around quickly. Very quickly, Eric.
Right, okay. Well, I had a first experience of channeling. It was quite amazing. I wasn't too sure if it was me or it was somebody else who was, you know, giving me the words to say. It was quite special. And when we finished this kind of ritual, I had to sit down because I was very like spinning around and like, whoa. It was a very, very quite phenomenal experience that I lived there, and I'm very grateful for meeting Melanie and Poppy. It was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, big things are coming, guys.
It was beautiful. We had 2 other divine masculine. Please stand up, Nick and Sam, because we know exactly there were other things happening as well. These 2 guys, this network is really, really key. And then after that, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Mel. Yeah. And lastly, and then I'm going. But this is really important because Joy, I would say, is kind of very, I'm not going to use the word muggerly. No, she's not. She's a warrior. She's an absolute warrior. Right, just share quickly because Sue's going to take this off me and cut me off. Yesterday, we were...
So yesterday, I think some of you might know, we're with the legal stuff. I'm not really I'm sort of religious of it's coming, or I don't know whether it's coming or not. But everything seemed to connect, and then I just was wondering, and this lady just said, "Oh, can you just take your hat off and your glasses?" I was like, "Yeah, all right then." I was more interested in the copper because Karen was there, and then she came out, and so I took my hat off and my glasses, and she said, "Can you just look into my eye, just look into my eye." And I said, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So I looked into her eye. I disappeared, but when I came a little bit back, there was 4 eyes in a line. I thought, bloody hell, this is a bit weird. 4 eyes in a line. Then all of a sudden it went to 2 eyes. And I just saw a face on one side of her face, a complete face looking back at me. And I couldn't see her at all, and my head went really, really, really hot and a bit funny down the back. Now I'm not very woo-woo, so I was a bit, it was like, oh, this is really, really odd, but she made me feel really strange, and really nice, and really nice, and really nice, really, really, really nice. And the face that I saw was very peculiar, but a nice face. I don't know what that was.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Thank you all. Thank you all. I'm Poppy. I'm Poppy Brytewood. Natural Balance is Soul and Self-Care. If you would like a leaflet, I didn't clutter the chairs up. See Karen at the back. And if you'd like any further information, there's loads there. Davey, thank you so much for your time and your patience.
Pleasure.